nice. It's nice. It's nice and exciting. It's nice to be at a premiere. Ridley Scott is the sole reason for making this movie, and he exceeded expectations. Yeah, he's really a wonderful man. I think just playing with the dogs, yeah, that's definitely the best part of the movie.
I mean, working with him when we first got together, I panicked a little bit, you know, and you know, Ridley's like a puzzle. He speaks in puzzles, he speaks in riddles and all that, and I wasn't used to it. And you forget that you don't even know that you've gotten into comfort zones in other movies, and there's nothing comfortable, even though it turns out to be comfortable, about Ridley, because his whole thing is he has a design of kind of chaos and things are elusive and he doesn't really rely on anything. You have a story, but then he wants you to be kind of off camber in order for like magic to possibly enter into the thing. You know what I mean? I'm not used to it anymore. So it's like it's more of a theater experience than anything. I love working with him. It's very dangerous in the best way. It's fun to be able to find humor in the seriousness of something that's so kind of weighted, but with him in particular, he's 28 years old. Jacob is like somewhere in between. It's like he has a lot of respect for the old way of doing things, and Ridley's so much like that, and Jacob just kind of went right into it. So creating a relationship with him was maybe the easiest thing I've ever done. I adore that guy. I adore him. And not just because he's good looking, because I don't think he's very good looking.
Oh, hot take.
I'm the one.
I loved how hopeful she is, how she just keeps persevering and keeps courageously opening her heart. I think the setting's just so beautiful, and there's something kind of like poetic and dreamy about it that it was unexpected for me in a kind of like apocalypse movie. He's awesome. He's like, you know, it's intimidating because he has such a incredible catalog, but he's also really easy to talk to and makes you feel important. So it was a really special experience.
I'm very excited to be here, so it's always a little bit overwhelming to arrive on the red carpet. There sort of wasn't any work, to be honest, you know. I mean, Margaret's so lovely and vulnerable and kind of worthy of protection that, you know, I felt that I mean, I'd already sort of started to think about my own son and being a parent and what sort of protection you would bring in this kind of world, you know, and just to sort of transfer that across to an older child, being Margaret in this film, was kind of easy in a way. But the interesting thing about Pops, the character I play, is that he doesn't really see her for the person she is yet. You know, so he's doing this very sort of old-fashioned defensive stuff, and, you know, it just takes him a while to kind of go, hang on a second, she's got something to offer me as well. So we see that through the course of the film. You know, Ridley quite likes a bit of levity and a little bit of humour every now and then, but yeah, it just took a while to get there. I mean, just working with Ridley, you know, I mean, I said to him, look, anything you want me to do, I'll come and do. And I think he's got a sort of a unique view of the world. So I feel like anything that he does means that he'll lean into something that I've not experienced before. So it was sort of a combination of him and what was in the script and obviously what was in the book, yeah. Well, I think that the kind of the sense of post-apocalyptic world that we often see in films, which is, you know, end of days, you know, etc. This I think Peter Heller offered something very different in his book, where he looks at us as human beings, going, what can we actually bring as a sort of a more of evolved species? It just felt that it required a kind of a more developed sense of how we progress from this point on. So it was very different than most post-apocalyptic films that I'd sort of seen before, to be honest.
It feels really wonderful, and just soaking it all in. You know, it's epic, exactly how Ridley shoots these movies. You know, I'm thrilled to be a part of this cast. What an ensemble. I'm just holding on to their coattails, and I love a party, so yeah, great to be here. You know, it's a post-apocalyptic thriller, something that I don't think Ridley's done before. I just get the call of Ridley. I mean, I worked with him 4 times now, and whatever he's doing is gold. So I just say yes to whatever this is, and to play a part of this story. You know, it centers around hope. You know, searching for the good of humanity in devastating times. No, you know, he's. I love playing Aaron. You know, he's a kind, gentle soul, and a spiritual man. Still, you know, still in hopeful times. You know, within trying to survive in this community that he's in. I don't know if I can mention obviously what's going on with you know, no one wants to go near them, and you know they can't. They're just surviving, really. You know, and yeah, he is definitely the moral compass. Yeah, it's Ridley Scott. It's this incredible ensemble. It's this incredible book, and it's epic in every way. And you know, we love a thrill and a ride.
It's all about what is on the written page. I didn't get the novel, I got the adapted screenplay. And I read the screenplay, it was so good. Well, I tracked Jacob I'm a pretty good spotter of stars. This guy's definitely this strong. And so I started tracking him a while ago for something else. I was doing a Western. And I was tracking for that, so I already kind of got interested. Then this came up, and just called him and said, "You want to do it?" I said, "Yeah." Well, they are the source of the humor. Because you ever seen a film with, you know who Jack Lemmon was? Jack Lemmon, and did a great film called The Odd Couple. And there's 2 guys living together. They get on each other's nerves. And I thought The Odd Couple were Bangley and Hig. And so they got on each other's nerves, and yet they needed each other, which I thought was charming and funny. Well, when he leaves, he says, "Sorry about your dog," bangs on the window, and you can see he's really upset.
I saw this movie a couple of weeks ago at Disney Studios, and I cried. I was stunned. These great artists, this is like the A-Team, one of the greatest directors in history, and some of the greatest actors in the world bringing to life this story, and it's incredibly moving. I'm grateful beyond expressing it. Very powerful, and they captured the spirit and the heart of the book, which was amazing. I wanted to see the split between when Jacob Elordi gets in his plane and flies away from the airstrip and leaves Bangley by himself. I wanted to see that parting. These guys are they're an odd couple, you know, they're sort of prickly, they're adversarial, but they back each other up, with their lives. And I found that friendship to be the most interesting part of the book when I wrote it, and it was wonderfully, wonderfully rendered. It was a very powerful scene.
It's such
So much chemistry. And I loved when Josh Brolin brought him a basket. Jacob Elordi was in the plane, and he was like a girlfriend with a pie in the basket, but it was hand grenades. It's like, yeah, I think right now, when there's fear in the world, people tend to contract and to clan up. And I think that Hig's challenge, our hero in the book and in the movie, his challenge is to keep his heart open and to look for human connection in the bleakest of circumstances when it's easier just to shoot first. And I think that's an important message right
Feels wonderful to be here tonight at the world premiere of Dog Stars. Amazing crowd always. We love premiering in London. Great to be here with Ridley and our cast and everybody that made it happen. Always an honor, you know, amazing. When I first read the script, I then read the book because I'd never read the book. And the person that sent me the script is my producing partner on the film, Cliff Roberts. And he said to me, I think Ridley's going to love this. Will you read it? And I did, and I felt the same way. And I said to Ridley, it's been a minute since we've done contemporary sci-fi, and I think you're going to love a lot about this. And then Ridley read it, and he said, you weren't wrong, I think we should make it. So I kind of felt the influences in the book and in the script that would interest Ridley as an artist and a filmmaker. Well, I think always with Ridley you get amazing scope, you get huge set pieces, you get the kind of grand cinematic experience. I mean, Ridley makes every film for the big screen, and I think we always commit to that vision for him. And I think, you know, beyond that, also it was a tender love story in here as well. It was a story about friendship and about people trying to find each other at the end of the world. And I think the balance of the intimate and the epic was perfect for Ridley and what he does so well. The aerial cinematography in the Dog Stars is, and I am biased, but also I try and hold myself to objective standards, is incredible. Like, it is worth the price of admission alone, seeing the aerial photography in this film, watching Jacob in that little Cessna aeroplane flying over the landscape, I think is some of the best visuals, certainly the best visuals I've ever worked on. And I think, again, you know, it's all about finding those intimate moments in the huge landscape. The nature is a character, the Cessna aeroplane is a character in the film, you know, our dog Jasper is a character in the film. So, you know, it's all part of the mosaic, but again, blending the big and the intimate. We always make our movies for the big screen. Ridley can't ever think about, you know, anything else in terms of making a movie for the big screen, and we just try and help him commit to that.